Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to try something completely different, something new. I have never done this before. So I recently listened to this podcast from Chiara King about overcoming insecurities and manifesting your dream life. I had never ever heard of Chiara King before, except for a few TikToks that passed by on my For You page. But for the rest, I didn't know her. So a few weeks ago, I started following her on Instagram, and I saw that she posted something about having her own podcast, and this specific one, this new one, had just come out. I had listened to a few podcasts before, but I wasn't really into it. You know, here I am, I'm one of the podcast girlies right now. I am obsessed with podcasts right now. I downloaded a bunch of other ones. However, this podcast, like about overcoming your insecurities and manifesting your dream life, it hit me so hard, like personally, and it was so relatable to my life. When she started, in the beginning, she started talking about her life and all of her insecurities and what she went through, like not all of it, but just like, my God, I was her. Like, girl, that's me. Like, I felt like exactly the same. I had trouble with my eating habits. I had a serious eating disorder. Not a lot of people knew this. I was so insecure about myself, and I wasn't into boys like until a few years ago. And like I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. Because of malnourishing my body, I stopped having my period for a year, maybe 2 years. So I felt her, like, girl, I feel you. Like, I went through this shit myself. So this went off to a good start. And then, of course, it got even more interesting. She started talking about manifesting your dream life. Like, come on, that sounds perfect. Like, who doesn't want the perfect life that they've all dreamt of? Like, me, myself, I mean, I have such bad insomnia. Like, I can lay awake all night thinking about the future, thinking about the past, thinking about this and that. If, you know, you've probably been there too. So of course, I find myself dreaming about what do I want to do? What do I like? What like my dream life? As of right now, I am not having the best moment in my life. Like I'm in a pretty dark place right now. I'm not gonna get into it too much, but I'm just not feeling myself and I have no idea what to do with myself. Luckily, I listened to Chiara King's podcast. It was like a calling, like it was there and I needed to listen to it. So I did, and I really truly hope this will help me. So she basically gives you a step-by-step guide on how to manifest your dream life. Like, I had never ever thought in a million years that I was going to manifest. Like, I heard it from people that they were manifesting, like they wrote something down and it came true eventually. On social media, you see some things passing by. Never thought that I was going to be the one that was going to do this one day, but you know, here I am sitting in front of the camera explaining this to you. I listened to the podcast. I am going to try and explain it as best to you, and I just want to take you along on my journey. I also want to like put it on video, like I did it, and I can look back to this video. Imagine in 5 years, I'm living my dream life, and everything that I wrote down right now in this moment, in this video, came true. And it's all thanks to Miss Chiara King and her podcast, and you should listen to it, guys. Really, she explains it so beautifully. I'm gonna try to explain a little bit too. If you want to listen to her podcast, I also put the link down below so you can listen to it. And I really hope you guys will enjoy this video with me, because I'm very excited to do this, and I feel like I'm getting really personal with you in this video. Like, I'm gonna be showing you what I'm gonna write down and everything. So this is me like being vulnerable, and you know, I don't care. I mean, I care, but I just know that there are so many other people that are feeling the same way as I am, and I just want to help them, and I hope this video will do that. So let's get started. We are going to manifest the shit out of my life right now. Let's go. Okay, so the first step to manifesting your dream life, according to Chiara King, is to make a dream board. And she recommends doing this every single year. You start by taking an A3 piece of paper and start by writing the title, which is your name, and then the word life. In my case, I write Morgan's life. I'm drawing a bubble around my name, and from there, I'm gonna write sentences all over my paper. You start manifesting the things you want. This can be anything, and it's important to write it in the sense that you already have it. So, for example, you can write, I have my own house, or I'm in a good relationship. Everyone in my inner circle is healthy. I'm confident. I have a dog or a cat or whatever animal you want, and so on. You also need to be specific and keep it very positive. Write whatever comes to mind. Don't be scared to dream big. After you've done that, you fold the paper and put it away. It is true that if you focus too much on something, the more pressure there is. The more likely it's not coming true, and I've had that experience. It's basically the same thing as saying, you find the love of your life when you're not looking, right? It's totally that in my opinion. You just have to let it go and trust in whatever you believe in that it will be taken care of. There we go, my first step is done. This is my dream board and I'm just gonna put it away right now and just leave it like that. Let's move on to the next step. The next thing on the road to manifesting your dream life is to write a letter. This letter has to come from your future self. It's basically a letter to congratulate yourself on having the dream life. For example, you can write, Morgan, I am so proud of you for having the house you've always wanted, or congrats on that big promotion, or something in the sense of, hi Morgan, I'm writing to you from my gigantic mansion, having accomplished this and that, and make it fun, creative, put in whatever you want. And when you're done writing that letter, it is important to read that letter every single night for a year. I'm probably gonna miss a few nights, and that's okay, but just try to do it as much as possible. Okay, I am done writing my letter, and my god, this was so fulfilling somehow, and like emotional, and just like, I don't know, I just feel I feel so proud of myself for doing this and writing this down, and I can't wait to read this every night because this is such a positive letter. Like, I'm also imagining it, and honestly, like, it warms my heart. Nothing but love for myself, and that's something I think a lot of people don't do, like give themselves a lot of love, self-love, and it's very important to me, for you. Like, it's okay, girl, you're not perfect, focus on the things you love, focus on you sometimes. Like, I am gonna read my letter to you just because I want to share all the love. This is just only that, so let's get started. So I wrote the date. Today is the 26th of October 2024. And I wrote, hi Morgan, I'm writing this letter from our brand new home. Girl, you did it. You are a homeowner. I wanted to congratulate you on everything you have overcome. I am so proud of you. You became a full-time content creator and you had your first brand deal. Lucky you to be able to travel for work and actually enjoying it. You deserve it all. You worked so hard and in the meantime took time to take care of yourself. I'm so happy for you that you were able to figure out what it is that makes you want to enjoy life again. Remember that summer vacation you had with your friends and all you thought about was having fun and enjoy going out, shopping, not knowing what the next day was going to be. You didn't worry about saving money or sticking to a budget. You were there with your friends. God, I love them so much. They have been there for me time after time. One night I sat on the beach and we decided to sleep on the beach, but everyone passed out after having too much to drink. As I was sitting there, I stared at the ocean, hearing the waves crashing against the shore, feeling the wind in my face, and I said to myself, you're okay. Everything worked out. Don't rush anything and take your time to experience life. I am so proud of you. All my love, Morgan. I literally teared up reading that letter, and I think it's gonna be that every night for a while just because it's so emotional and something to look forward to. And honestly, I'm just not feeling my best, and it's nice to read something nice and to be able to reread it again. And just, yeah, just, it's lovely. And I didn't know it was gonna hit me so much, because as I was writing dream board, you start imagining, yeah, I want this and I have this and I have that. But once you start writing a letter to yourself, like a positive, loving, caring letter, it really sinks in, you know, like you need more of this. Like, why aren't you doing this every year? Like, you need to take time to be kind to yourself. That's that. We are gonna put this next to my bed and I'm gonna read this every night. It's time to move on to the final step. Moving on to the last step. You take a piece of paper. Well, Chiara says to take 2 pieces of paper to make 2 separate lists, but I'm going to combine them on 1 paper. So you make a list of all the qualities of the dream life you have. So for example, I'm healthy, I'm happy, I'm in the best shape of my life, I have clear skin, and so on. On the other piece of paper, you make a list of all the things you need to do to get there. For example, in order to get healthy, you have to stop eating too much sugar, or you need to start exercising X amount of times a week, or you have to stop drinking so much. Take all the time you need to write down everything and make it realistic. If you're, for example, a person who only works out once a week, don't expect your body to be able to take on working out 5 times a week. Build it up slowly. Start with, instead of going once a week to 2 times a week, then you go on from twice a week to 3 times a week, and so on. Do it very gradually, because if you're putting too much pressure on yourself, you will not be able to maintain a lifestyle, and you're just going to end up quitting. This, especially for me, is so true, because sometimes I would wake up one day and say to myself, I'm going to completely change my life, and telling myself, making lists that I have to do this and that, I would say, no more sugar, exercise 5 times a week, don't eat fast food for X amount of months or weeks or days. And then I would start doing these things, but after a few weeks or months, I would just come crashing down. Like I would be binge eating, only craving fast food, sugars, not going to the gym for weeks at a time, just because I'm putting too much pressure on myself. I have learned the hard way that everything takes time and nobody can change their lives in an instant. You just start with little things. Make some adjustments that are good for you. Maybe you're a person who is able to go from 0 to 100 overnight, and that's great. Like, I would be jealous, but that's just not the case for me. Everybody has their own pace. No one is the same. Alright, so once you are done with both lists, Chiara recommends that if you really, truly want to manifest and make it stronger, is to read the lists every night. Every night when you're reading these lists, you think to yourself, am I doing these things in order to become this person? I truly believe that if you act like the person you want to become, you will become that person in the future. So it is so important to take this seriously. Like, I cannot stress that enough. Really put in the work and you will be rewarded. Alright guys, I have done all of the steps that Chiara told me to do to manifest my dream life. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of excited. I'm pretty excited, you know. I truly hope some of these things will come true, and I'm just gonna hope for the best. Before I started making this video, I listened to the podcast I think 3 or 4 times to really understand it and really get it and just know what to do and how to do it. And I just love Chiara's voice. The British accent, it's so soothing. Like, I just love her voice. By this time, probably, I will have listened to all of her podcasts. I think at this moment right now, I think I only have to listen to 4 or 5 podcasts. Mind you, there's almost 40 podcasts and I started last week. So I have been going crazy for Chiara's podcasts. Anyways, this was today's video and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful. And as I mentioned before, I put the link from the podcast in the description box for you guys to listen to it. And honestly, Chiara explains it so much better than me. And I love her. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.